So think about this. You're going through a level, you're vibing, you're just going kind of from linear area to linear area, and it's nice and smooth. You got some enemies in the way and stuff, so you beating them up. And then you get to this one area that's a little complicated in your mind. It's a little complicated, but you figure it out. It's not too bad. And then you move on further and you do a bunch of little puzzles and stuff, or, going through some stuff, and you open up a passageway, but it doesn't lead forward. And you don't see any other way forward. It doesn't look like a puzzle or anything like that. So you're left wondering, did I just go on a far side tangent? Or am I in the right area? Or what? Hi, I'm Justin, and welcome to the XP Log, a daily-ish podcast about my gaming journey. And today I want to talk about getting stuck. So that's what happened to me yesterday. I was stuck for over an hour. So I fired it up on my Steam Deck. I say it. I apologize. I fired up Darksiders 3, which is a game akin to God of War, with like a touch of like Castlevania type progression lock in it. Metroidvania, I guess. You get new abilities, which unlock secret areas and the way forward. You backtrack a little bit, usually. But yeah, it's action RPG type game. But this one, number 3, takes some inspiration from Dark Souls. So it has branching paths, which I did not quite realize. So I get stuck, right? I get stuck like Chuck. And I bang my head against the wall for about an hour. And then I got to cut it off because I was playing on lunch, and then I played a little bit when I got home. But, then fatherly duties, right? So I fire it back up later. I bang my head against that wall for another few minutes, and I'm about to either pull up a guide, which I don't want to do, or not play. And I don't want to do that either. So what I do instead, I'm like, okay, I'll pull up a guide if I really have to, but there was kind of a branching path back there. So I backtrack. And in Darksiders 3, it doesn't really have a map, but it has a compass, right? And when you're close to a boss, you can see its dot on the compass. And there was a point where I was closer to one boss, and then I started exploring like what I thought was a side area, and then I got closer to a different boss. So then I started running that way. And that's where I got stuck. So I thought maybe I wasn't supposed to be there yet. There were like climbable walls there, and I thought maybe I haven't unlocked that ability yet. So let's rewind and go back the other way. So I go back the other way. And this was actually really cool because it kind of hooked me. It hooked me back in. I was going towards, you fight the 7 deadly sins, and I was going towards Sloth, and there's like a bunch of little insects and stuff is kind of his zone. It has like a really, really hive mind insect experience, but it's also like very eerie and atmospheric and creepy. And there's this one part that it goes pitch black and you can't barely see crap, in front of you, and monsters are popping out. It's very tense and engaging. So I go through that area and I defeat the boss. Cool, right? but I didn't get any new abilities. I didn't get any new abilities, so I'm like, okay, well, maybe I missed something on the way. So instead of using Volgrim to fast travel back to the closest serpent hole, is what they're called, I decide I'm going to run it. So as I'm running it, I unlock a bunch of side stuff because now I have abilities that I can do that with. So that actually takes most of my playtime last night. So then I get back where I was, and I look at it for a couple minutes, and I'm like, I'm dumb. I got it. I went on that jaunt. I was gone for a few hours probably, or, like 2. I came back, I looked at it, and immediately solved the puzzle. And you know what? I was met by a cutscene on the other side, and I got a new ability. Not the one I was expecting, but a new one nonetheless. But I almost resorted to a guide. And if I would have used a guide, it wouldn't felt as satisfying to solve that. I mean, yes, it would have stopped me from quitting, but also it's kind of a slippery slope, right? Because then instead of trying to figure something out again, will I just go to the guide and just assume that that's the only way I'm going to get through it? Or, the path of less resistance? In my opinion, the path of least resistance isn't always the most rewarding one. Sure, you get to the goal you wanted, but you don't experience the whole journey. For me, anyways. But yeah, the game actually, it hooked me back in. Maybe even just hooked me for the first time this time. Because I was just kind of playing through it, and I was enjoying it, but I was also like, maybe not, right? Maybe it's not time for this yet. But actually going through that other area and feeling how atmospheric and tense and stuff like that it could be, I was like, yeah, this game's pretty dope, man. This game's pretty dope. I'm digging it. I'm in it. And that actually gave me motivation to go back to the area I had failed in and succeed. Like I said, like I looked at it for a couple minutes and I was like, yeah, I got it. But it is a weird solve. I'll give it that. It was a strange solve. It's just something where I just noticed the path that I opened was a little different. So I was able to move something else, but I wasn't sure if that's how it was intended. So I wasn't sure if it was going to let me do it, and it did. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, man, I don't know, that one's kind of rough to figure out. I don't know. Maybe I'm just foolish. So I guess today's question would be, have you ever been so stuck in a video game or anything that you just quit? Right? And how, that, in my opinion, that's not a good habit, right? That's not a good habit to form, is to quit whenever you're met with a challenge. But anyway, I digress. Have you ever been met with a challenge in a video game and you just quit or took a break and, came back and killed it? Like, tell me your story, your experience. And at what point do you think it's okay to use a guide or a walkthrough or a little nudge or something like that? Let me know in the comments. I actually think that when it comes to either quitting your save and destroying, hours of your progress, or looking at a small guide, then go ahead and guide it up and keep moving forward and just try not to do it again. But, it might make it a little, I don't want that to be your only go-to whenever you're met with a challenge, because, the challenge is part of the fun of gaming. Anyways, soapbox over. Sorry for preaching at you for a second there, but yeah, that's all I got today. Hope y'all have a great one. Peace out.